We are welcoming you today to American Fight Stories with Dabar. We are challenging all Americans to be better Americans, showcasing the most excellent American fighters that I know of. And today is October the 1st, the first day of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and some other months. But these are our big pink and purple months for women. And I love supporting a lot of people, a lot of different people from all walks of life. But I especially love empowering women, and I love women who are fighters. They fight like a girl, right? And one of those fights is celebrated, the fight against domestic violence, also the fight against breast cancer. But today, I have the privilege, honor of getting to interview my very dear friend, Sarita Drake. And I appreciate you being here today. And what are you thinking? What have you been doing today? October the 1st.
Yes.
Let her rip, right?
Yes.
And I hate to be like a spirit of celebration about Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Like some people may think, how could you be excited about Domestic Violence Awareness Month? How tragic, how sad. But for advocates, victims, survivors, this is a truly, 1 month set aside to educate and promote services and that sort of thing. So what have you been doing today? Or tell me who are you besides my friend, right?
That's right. I am a survivor.
Okay.
I did not know I was a domestic violence survivor until I came to the House of Grace. Okay. And they gave me a questionnaire. And I had my 2 girls with me about 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. And we started.
It's been that long?
It's been that long. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
So we were filling out questionnaires, and my oldest daughter was sitting at the same table with me, and we had to fill out a questionnaire. And it was like, have you been through this? Have you been through this? And every answer was yes. And I was like, sometimes you can go through years of being harassed, bullied, all the things that are violent, and not realize you're in domestic violence. You just know it's horrible. I got to get through this, push through. Doesn't matter what. You have to understand what you're dealing with. And for years, I did not know until I came to House of Grace as a victim, as a survivor, and started answering these questions. And it's the power and control wheel. Okay. And we use it with our clients.
I love it.
I do too.
I do too.
And how it should be is not what I lived, but how it was.
Right.
And so you just go through life. And it reminded me last night, we were at a search and rescue, and we were out in the field doing a search. There was about 27 of us. And my oldest daughter was walking around with her head down, and I said, "What's wrong?" Right. She said, "I've got the worst migraine. I feel like I'm going to get sick." And so I was like, "Are you, no, Mom, I'm fine," because she wants everything to look normal, as we all do in domestic violence.
We all want to look normal.
We all want to look like everything's fine. We're good. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of Facebook. You can pretend and no one knows the truth.
Right.
But our director saw her.
Right and wrong. But
I know,
yes.
It's wrong, but we do it. Mm-hmm. And this reminded me of domestic violence when she said, I'll tell you the story, but he said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "I'm fine. And I told him what was going on. Mm-hmm. She had a migraine. The truth. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Mom, stop it." And he's like, "Sarita, did she drive here alone?" I said, "No, we rode together." Mm-hmm. And he said, "Go ahead and go home." He said, "Just go home." And he was very kind. And so I said, "Come on, Chelsea, we're gonna ride back instead of walking back to our unit." And "I'm fine." I said, "Okay, we're leaving." So we left a little bit early. I drove her home, got home, and I said, "Baby, it's okay to say you feel bad." She said, "Mama, I'm so used to just pushing through." I just was pushing through.
That hurts, don't it?
Yes.
As a mama.
Yes. Yeah. I thought, oh my God, what have I taught my children? Wow. I've taught them everything's fine. Everything's okay. Be polite. Don't hurt anybody's feelings. Even the person who's hurting you. I was embarrassed for them. I didn't want them the clients that they saw know how bad that was. Oh my gosh. So I twinged, my heart hurt. And I thought, my child who had to wear sunglasses.
She's how old now?
She's 35.
You talk about her like she's 5, but she's 35. Yeah. But she's a baby. I mean, my kids will always be babies, but yes, there's even 10 years later, there are residual effects of domestic violence. And even though your search and rescue director is a wonderful, wonderful man, there's still that internal pressure to please and to perform and to push through, to continue to push. When your body says no, your spirit says no. I need rest, and so it's amazing that there are so many residual effects of domestic violence. No matter how hard you try to recover and how hard you try to educate and move, go to therapy and all that, there are years to undo and get the help that you need. So you mentioned House of Grace, and we all just, in DeSoto County, everybody talks about House of Grace, but could you just speak about what is House of Grace? So
House of Grace is a domestic violence shelter.
Okay.
And if you don't realize what domestic violence is, it's hard to understand what the shelter is. So we have offices. In a different location, there is a hidden shelter. It's hidden because we want to hide our clients from someone who might want to hurt them, who may have been hurting them for years, or who may have just started hurting them. We are a shelter for victims, and we have women, we have children, and we have men.
Occasionally
men, not all, a lot. But it is a place where they can come and find peace. Peace is priceless.
It is. That's a Dabar-ism right there. Peace is priceless.
It is. It really is. And we teach them to rest. We teach them that this is
I need
a
to
safe
just ring
place.
the bell, but I need you to talk too. So I'll back off the bell for just a minute. Just listen to what she
we meet the needs, just practical needs, because of, I'll say, abuse, someone trying to hurt you. You don't think of your own needs. And we all know for our children, we would do anything. I would literally give my children the food in my mouth, the clothes on my back. But sometimes you can't even think of those needs, because every single day when you are in domestic violence, all you can think about is, I'm going to survive today. And we put the wildest thing to me about domestic violence, and now that I'm away from it, I still have a tendency to people please, but I'm getting better. And I probably offend more now than I ever have, because I'm finding my voice.
Sarita, you said something just extremely powerful, is that you're getting better.
Yes.
You're not recovered.
No.
You're not healed. An admission, the truth.
Yes.
A lot of times as survivors, we're both survivors, but we want to say, I'm okay. When the truth is we're not okay.
Right.
But you can truthfully, it's safe now to be honest. It's safe to be truthful without a threat of violence, a threat. So you're able to say, I'm getting better.
Right.
And that's the truth,
and
it will take years, 10 years. So a lot of times I hear victims say, I just need a week. I just need, I need this or whatever. But the truth of domestic violence is that it lasts over, the effects of it are long term. And of course, there's still a lot of research going on about how it affects the brain and different things like that. But it literally takes a long time to recover spiritually, socially, financially. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of investment of support systems, not just people, but support systems in order for a woman, man to recover from domestic violence. And then also, your children.
Yes.
So that's, and I'll say that, we frequently, have a lot of children at the shelter. And it's like, what do we do about this woman and all of these children that have been traumatized? And sometimes it's better if you treat the woman you know, kind of like you do with, you know, I hate to say animals, but you treat the mama and the babies get better because the mother is treated. So, we just try to help the women as much as we can. And that in turn helps, you know, if you had not left your children, what's that? Tell me the part of that story that you, why did you leave? What was the impetus or the push for you to leave? Because you were in a 30-year marriage.
Yes. So you keep going. When you first get into a relationship, of course, that's the honeymoon period. Oh, I love you. You're so wonderful. You see things that are red flags, but you think, oh, okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. And so we tell ourselves it'll be okay. Now, I remember leaving several times, but I felt guilty. Oh, I was jealous. I didn't want anybody else. You know, I was unhealthy. And I am just now really, I was so
unhealthy. That's the truth, too. Let me just say that.
If I was healthy, I would have never stayed. Yeah. The first time that violence happened, I would have said, nope. But I was groomed for it by my, who I grew up with. Yeah. And that was kind of my normal. And I just didn't know. I was broken. Yeah. My picker was broken. So I stayed in that relationship. I just stayed and stayed and stayed. I want to read this that I found, actually I went to a conference. Okay. And I heard a speaker and I wrote some notes. This speaks to we travel through our lives, different things happen, and it depends on the way we think. Okay. If we're not healthy thinkers, if we do not have, through the violence, I found Jesus. Amen. Because I knew I wasn't going to make it, and I desperately cried out to him. I didn't know him, but he found me, and he wouldn't let me go. The most important part of the journey are lessons that you learn over the journey, on the journey. You learn grit. You learn perseverance. You know that it's hard, but they don't know what you've been through. They just see, oh, you're a strong woman. You don't know what I've been through. I'm going to persevere. I'm going to make it, especially when we have children. There's no way I could have figured out a way to get where I am. There is no way that I could have figured it out. I just desperately cried out, and God meets you where you are. He met me where I was. Yes.
To reach out, and you know. Yes. Knowing that you can't see it. Right. But you know if you press through.
Yes. My uncomfortable situations have taught me so much. Don't get emotional about the obstacles. Have grit. Work a little harder than everyone else. Believe in yourself, or believe in a God who believes in you.
That's wonderful.
I didn't believe in myself. I was scared to make a decision because I was scared of the anger that I was going to receive if I made the wrong decision. So part of the House of Grace, we help the ladies, we help the survivors, even the children. We have programs for the children to say, we're not going to tell you what to do, but what are your goals? Where do you want to be? How can we help you? From food to clothes to medical care to counseling. We ask them, how can we help you? Be reliable, be relatable, do it well, and win the day.
It's wonderful.
It is a day by day. Just because I'm not in active violence against me, I still have bullies. Yes. I still have people that want to bully me, and I'm learning to find my voice, and maybe I don't do it well, but don't
you do it well. You do it well. Sarita, you're not even the same person that, right. I mean, you always were. Yeah. That voice was in there. Yes. But the voice we hear today, the voice that stands up and is on a podcast and on the radio stations and on TV. Yeah.
Channel 3.
Yeah. That's that voice has always been there, but it's not been heard. Yes. And it's getting stronger. I've witnessed it because I've known you about that length of time. Yeah. So I know that your voice is incredibly strong and getting stronger all the time by the grace of God, right? Is.
So, but going back, I was so scared. I was terribly frightened my whole marriage. And I kind of got used to it because it's in degrees. So the violence usually gets worse as you go longer and longer in that relationship. I remember thinking every day, I'm not going to mess up today. I'm going to be a better wife. I'm going to, he won't have anything to get angry with. And then it would kind of step up to another level, scare me, drove me to my knees, which is where the Lord needed me. I mean, where else was I going to go?
He met you.
He met me.
He saved you in more than one way.
He did.
Didn't he?
He did.
But I ask, what was the impetus, or what was the thing that moved you?
Yes.
You know, we talk about that. Why do women stay? Why don't you just leave? And so there was some push for you to move.
Yes.
You know, after 30 years. And what was that? What was it?
I could feel being despised. I don't know how else to say it, but I was despised. I could see it. I could feel it. And I began to pull back into myself more. And my children were scared, which broke my heart. And I didn't know what to do. And I'll be honest, I remember there were days that I said, I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. But I never gave up hope. I kept thinking, and I'll tell you what broke that. Okay. I remember every day just had hope. I did not want to let go of hope. I just couldn't. I guess because I knew what was at the other end was probably the end of my life.
You couldn't stop.
I couldn't.
You couldn't let go.
No.
You would be lost.
Yes.
You know, so, your children were depending on you.
Yes.
You know?
So as things got worse, more violent with things in my face, I remember I was so scared. So I called a friend of mine and I said, we need to pray. I don't know what to do. And she said, let's pray. As she was praying, she said, Sarita, something's come to my mind. It's House of Grace. And I thought, okay. But knowing where you need to go doesn't mean you know how to get there. And someone called me one day from the House of Grace, because I had friends everywhere. Yeah. And they said, I need you to call this number. Her name's Melissa. Oh. And I need you. That's
Melissa
another.
Who?
Melissa, you.
Oh, yeah, me. Okay.
And so things had
Melissa, who's also broken herself, that has problems.
But yes, but God gives us lifelines. And someone told me one time, God's through your life is going to give you lifelines. Always reach out and hold on to it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And so I did. In the meantime, still praying. So my friend said, House of Grace. And I said, what's that? And so God kind of had started giving me thoughts of maybe there's a way out. But I didn't know how to get there. And I was so scared I was sick. It
was stirring your spirit.
Oh, yes.
To leave. You knew you were. Yes. Sometimes people pack up and move a truck. Yeah. But when women are moving in domestic violence, it is a spiritual moving.
It is.
They are packing.
It is.
They are getting ready. You're not ready, or you are ready.
Right.
They know that they're getting ready to leave. Yes. And the abuser senses that as well.
Yes.
You know. So
but the small whisperings of the Lord, the Holy Spirit, is what kind of started stirring the waters. Because I had been in it so long, and in my quiet time, I had to lock myself in a room to do my quiet time because it was despised in my home. So I remember God whispered some things to me, and I'd write them down. And one of them was, Sarita, you've been in this so long, you're not seeing things clearly. And I thought, what does that mean? Because it really was normal. It was normal to be scared. It was normal to have terror. I mean, I had to sleep in a different place. I had to hide to do my Bible. And so I thought, what does that mean? So, and it's interesting who he uses. There was a lady from my church that did, of course, if you've never been in domestic violence, how can you know what it is? How can you know the horror? How can you know the fear? You don't. And so when someone tells you, like, I'm scared, they're like, what?
Of what? Yeah.
But it was it was one of those people that called me and said, I want you. She said, one of my relatives is in it. So she's watching these short films on YouTube. Okay. Go here. And I thought, and isn't that interesting that I'm teaching that now as Love is Respect? And she said, you're in one of 3 relationships on these little 5-minute little videos. You're either in an healthy relationship, an unhealthy relationship, or dangerous relationship. And I thought, which one am I? Oh my gosh.
Just the fact you're asking that.
I know.
I mean, it's healthy that you're asking, but at the same time, it's like you shouldn't even have to question whether or not you are.
And so I listened to these short videos and I went, oh my gosh, finally someone kind of believed me. I was learning truth. Yeah. Because it had been since my childhood, my earliest memories, I was in domestic violence, that I married it. And so that was kind of the first thing I went, So the House of Grace, but I didn't know what else to do.
The scales are coming off of their eyes.
And it's unbelievable that you're living, it's like you live a lie all your life because it's your normal. And then you start learning truth. And the Lord had said other things to me. And some of those things were repeated by you when I called you. And because I had prayed. So I started praying, all right, Lord, I need somebody who, number one, knows what domestic violence is. Okay. Who's a Christian. All right. 2, domestic violence Christian who understands the physical, like a nurse, someone in the medical field, because I had been broken, bones broken, just had a lot of illness, but I do believe it was from stress. Right. I need someone, Lord, who knows the law. Who else? And there were like 5 things, and I prayed those. I said, I'm not going to say a word. But if someone calls to give me advice, they're going to have to be these 5 things. Wow. And so, and the Lord also said, you've been in this too long. The Lord said, there was just a whisper. It was the Holy Spirit that said, the spirit in him does not like the spirit in you. And that was a new concept because I don't, as survivors, we don't think much of ourselves. We just don't. I didn't. So I thought, what do you mean?
We take the lead of him.
Yes.
Not realizing that you're like, what's wrong with me? Let me fix it. Yes. When the spirit in you and the spirit in him.
But I didn't think anything of me spending time with the Lord I needed it. I lived it, but I didn't realize that it made a difference to another person, that it was that important because my worth was nothing. Yeah. I'd been told and screamed at and hit, and I didn't think anything. I couldn't make a decision. So I heard that from the Lord, and then a worker from the House of Grace called me and said, and in the midst of this, I'm still praying. I'm still just crying out to the Lord, and little by little, people are helping me. And so a lady, her name was Debbie. Aww. She worked at the House of Grace, and I don't know how she knew to call me. I think she had heard that I was asking questions. Okay. And she said, that you can come. And I told her, she said, I know you've been talking to you. Okay. And so I was like, and so I'm getting truth from you. And, but the big thing hadn't happened yet. Okay. So I'm learning truth. And when you talked to me, one of the things you did for me was God used you to say the right words. And you said, I can't tell you what to do. Right. Okay. Because I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. And you told me a story. You said, Sarita, if you were, your children were in a burning building, your husband's up here, your kids are here in another window, who are you going to save? And I went, well, my kids. Grown-ups, they can make their choices, but I'm saving my kids. Right. And I was like, yeah, okay. So a little bit of strength came into me then, and you talked to me for a little bit longer. Yeah. And you said, okay, what if one of your children, one of your daughters came to you and said, I'm in a domestic violence relationship. I'm always scared. I have nightmares, this and this and this. And something rose up in me that I had not had. I don't know if I've ever had it. And something rose up in me.
It's a fight.
It was.
It's a mama fight.
It was something
like you couldn't fight for yourself,
but I fought for them.
Yeah, and I've found that to be really useful when I'm doing kind of intervention work. With domestic violence victims, is they are so crushed in their spirit that they're not able to fight. Right. And so I'm trying to find some fight in them. Yes. And so I will say, come around. Okay. Even in my law office, I will say, the person's not really moving in the direction of safety. Yeah. And so I'll have them come over on my side of the desk and say, I'll trade spots with them
Yeah.
and say, I'm coming in and all the things that have happened to you
Yeah.
are happening to me, and you're the lawyer.
Yeah.
What would you say to do?
Oh my God.
And they're like, well, I say this and all.
That's
I
what
say,
happened.
Yeah. And I say that also about their daughters
Yes.
or your mother or your sister
Yeah.
or your son that might be going through domestic violence, because we are teaching our own children how to have these toxic relationships.
Yes.
So I'll have them do that, and the lights come on because they're not able to fight for themselves.
Yes.
But if I can turn that mama fight on,
It's true.
then it is crystal clear. I mean, all of the deception
Yes.
and all of the scales, everything comes off. The person that typically knows exactly what to do.
Yes.
So
That's what happened.
that's pretty powerful,
when you said, what if one of your
and I
children
didn't read it
came?
in a book.
I
I
didn't
didn't read it in a book.
Yeah.
God gave it kind of to me to
Yes.
how to help people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you said that to me, I thought, I really did think
She
this.
started cussing. She's not a cussing woman, I'll tell you that.
Hell no, you are
Yeah.
not. Whoever that person
Yeah.
was, you are not.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd call the police. I'd take them get a divorce. I'd take them out of that situation. I'd pack their clothes. I mean, something rose up in me, and I thought, I didn't know that was in me.
Yeah.
But yes, I will fight for my
That
children.
is the fight. Oh, Lord.
Yes.
That is the women or the men or whoever, just the fight to be a mother, just the primitive, innate ability to fight
Yes.
for your own children.
Yes.
And so with
what
domestic violence,
Yes.
you may not be able to fight for yourself.
Right.
You've been sacrificing yourself,
Yeah.
turning yourself inside out for somebody who's non-appreciative,
Right.
but when you fight for
Yes.
the domestic
Yeah.
violence fight
Yeah.
for your children, we have warriors that step up.
Yes.
So that's
So
wonderful.
What God does, He starts opening your eyes. Watch this video, whispering, this is your normal, but you're not thinking clearly. So all these different things. And He had to do it gently, because if you try to rip that off, you can't. But only God can convict without condemning.
Right.
He never said, shame on you for staying.
No.
But what He did is He started opening my eyes, and things started getting a little more violent. And so I remember I was like, okay, what do I do with this? So I'd spoken to you. I had called the shelter. Debbie was telling me what to do. All these clear things that were opening my eyes, but I didn't know what to do. And I remember we lived in Coldwater.
Okay.
I remember where I was standing, and I heard a voice as clear as yours speak to my heart, and it was so clear. And I
This
knew
is the impetus I'm talking about.
this is what I'm.
This is
yes.
what I was trying.
Yes.
Part of her story that I love.
Yes.
So ring the bell. Listen
Yes.
to this part right here. Right.
So I was walking through the kitchen, and something just stopped me. And I was not with either of my children; they were in the home. And God said, Sarita, you've got to go. You've got to go now. You will never come back here again. But if you don't leave now, your children will never heal.
Wow.
And I didn't know what that meant, but and somebody told me this, and I didn't realize that God had released me.
You didn't feel guilty.
I didn't feel guilty. And I'd always wondered, how do people get a divorce? Don't they feel guilty? I did feel guilty. But not
like
that
church
day.
guilt,
Church
like
guilt.
spiritual,
People
religiosity,
saying, you made your bed,
denominational, pressure from the church
Yes.
to make it work.
It's time for you to go home now. It's time for you to go back. So, but when I heard that, I thought, I'm done. I called my girls and I said, I just need you to know what's about to happen.
Okay.
I said, I'm leaving. Now, I didn't feel like I could boss them and tell them what to do, but I wanted to. But I needed them to know you can choose.
Like the house is on fire.
Yes.
But
Yes.
spiritually, your house is
But
on
I'm
fire.
leaving.
Yeah.
And they said, where are we going? I said, I don't know, but we are leaving.
We're out of here.
And
That's
my
where we're
youngest
going.
goes, yes,
Yes.
I'm going to pack. She runs out of the room, gets her suitcase, starts throwing clothes in. My oldest daughter said, okay. And I did not know yet how we were going to go, when we were going to go, what was going on. But God had given me tools.
Steps
He
of
was
faith.
packing my suitcase. He was packing my tool belt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is what you need. And so when you, Melissa, were telling me, you don't have to do this, but I'm giving you tools.
Right.
So when I heard the voice of the Lord, and I know what I know, I knew I had to go. I did not know where, how, but Debbie called again. She said, I'm giving you a phone number.
Okay.
And it's someone at the House of Grace.
Okay.
And I need you to talk to them. I didn't know who it was. I knew Miss Katie. It was Miss Katie, and she was the director. And I called the number, and she answers, and she said, hello, this is Miss Katie. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
And when I realized it was Miss Katie, I kind of knew her name, and I knew the person that was hurting me knew her. And I said, never mind, Miss Katie.
Uh-oh.
You know.
See, she's talking about a chill that her husband/abuser may have a connection.
In the same circles.
Yes, that maybe she wouldn't be believed. Maybe,
yes,
like, oh, my plan, my escape, my escape has been cut off because she knows I can't go to the shelter safely because she may tell him and I'm not safe, and I don't know if I can go through with this. And
every survivor, when they are in that process of leaving, have obstacles.
Right.
He stole all our papers. I'm just theoretically.
Yeah. My car broke down.
Yeah. I have flat tires. He came home from work early and now I can't drive my car. There's so many obstacles. And we do have to overcome them to get out. And sometimes we just leave with nothing.
And I frequently say that the more that you're willing to walk out, and I draw this from the story of like leaving Sodom and Gomorrah. That you set your face like flint. Whenever you know that it's time to go, you set your face like flint and you don't look back.
Right.
Like, I will walk out naked, naked with nothing. I'm not going to sit around in a burning house talking about the red couch and the yellow couch and dish rags and looking for my toothbrush while the house is burning down. I will leave naked. And I have known personally women who have left their home naked. No clothes, no clothes for the baby, but the terror was so horrific that they had to leave. Like, he took all her clothes off of her. He ripped them off of her during the assault. So there have been a lot of women who've left literally naked.
And you are desperate and you will do anything to go. Yeah. And it is time to go.
And that's when you know somebody is really ready to leave.
Yes.
And they have nothing to go back to. Like, I'll figure this out in time, or I trust the Lord, and I don't know these people, but I have to trust them because I know I cannot trust what's behind me. Right. So set your face like flint and walk forward until and know that those steps are going to be ordered by the Lord, that you're going to survive this. Yes. So it is a survivor thing. It is a fight of faith. It is. And it is one of the rawest, most I'm so excited to get to be even a small part of survivor stories. Yes. Of various kinds, but especially in domestic violence, that women are able, and just like you, I mean, you're a miracle. It is. I mean, you're not the same Sarita Drake that I first met. Yeah. You're not. I was. So, no.
So when the survivors come in, I know how they feel, and they're hopeless and they're scared. They don't think they can make decisions, but the sweetness and the goodness of God, and I will just say that, is that we get to speak of the Lord. It's not magic to the survivors, but we get to do case management. We get to say, and we're talking to someone right now, and we're like, okay, what'd you learn now? Well, I'm on the phone. I'm trying to get a job, and we have resources and different companies, different connections. Yes. One of them, somebody came and picked up one of our survivors, and they're going to look for a house. They're going to look for they've got a budget and just so many things.
I call them divine conspiracies.
They are.
They're divine.
They're divine connections.
Yes.
They are. And so it helps the client look and see. And we don't force anybody to come to Bible study, or they do have to do case management. And we have specific things to help them get a job, help them get daycare, shop for clothes. One of our girls, needs clothes. And so we're like, we're going to get you some clothes. But I hear them say often, like I hear my family say, I'm fine. I don't need that. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's okay, but we're still doing it.
Yeah.
And so it's
You're
beautiful.
worth it. You're worth it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
There are things that you need.
Yeah.
And we're here to help you. And it's wonderful to be able to kind of open a storehouse of sorts. And sometimes that's getting on the telephone and making a call and saying, I need this for this client.
Yes.
And the door opens, and we have a network, a partnership with different people in the community that are happy to help, haircuts for the kids when they start school, or I need backpacks, or I need bicycles at Christmas.
It's true.
So
we're doing,
wonderful.
And I will say what it's made me is so grateful and humbled.
Yes.
By the goodness of God. No matter how bad it is, I can always see how much worse it could be. I remember myself in my basement when I was probably 4, crying out to God, help me. Yeah. I just wanted to be invisible. Don't hurt me anymore. But I couldn't get away because when you're young, when you're little, when you're a child.
4 years old.
I'm begging
This is
God.
prior to her marriage. So, and we found this when I was doing this domestic violence support group, that frequently that the abuser is not the first abuser.
Yeah, right.
A lot of times the men are coming from child abuse situations in their own home. Yes. So that the abuse is layered upon layered. It's a conditioning. We're even calling it sometimes generational trauma. Yes. Another word, generational, curses or whatever you might call it. That when you go back into family history, you see a lot of, common issues with violence. Yes. So we want to definitely stop that so our children do not pass down that whatever you went through at 4, you're able to escape. And a lot of women, they're going to relationship because they're escaping one relationship and falling into another. A lot of people leave home because it's violent. They get married thinking this is a answer to my prayers. It's my escape, and actually fall right back into a similar domestic violence pattern again, So
you're right. It doesn't start when you're 22, 25. No. It starts when you're little. Yeah. You either see it. A lot of abusers watch their mothers be abused, and they continue that cycle like you were saying. Yeah. So we're trying to tell our clients there is another way. Right. It seems impossible, but it is not. Stay the course. It's a beautiful thing. I've had this happen. We had one of our clients, several children, and I just invite them to come. Let's just sit and let's read the children's Bible. Mm-hmm. They're so happy. They want a Bible. So I love having children's Bibles with the pictures. Mm-hmm. And I'd say, okay, let's read about Adam and Eve. Right. And then you get to ask questions. Mm-hmm. They are smart. Mm-hmm. Like, does Adam still have one extra rib? Because I read that,
they're asking hard questions.
They are.
Now.
I was like, I'm not sure, but I'll check that out. Truth is, no, Adam just had that for that one time. Okay. God took a rib out of Adam and made Eve. Now they both have the same number of ribs. So that's a one-time thing. So, but I had to look it up. Mm-hmm. But the beauty of these babies, oh my gosh, there's hope in someone besides ourselves. Mm-hmm. Or someone that you think should be good to you. I hear a lot at the shelter that it's not fair. I said, I know. Yeah. I know. You're right. But we're moving on.
You reminded me, sometimes I get the privilege of, bringing pizza up to the shelter, which I need to be doing more often. But I just remember that coming to the door of the shelter with pizza.
Yeah.
And I could hear the babies inside on the other side of the door saying, pizza, 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 and I was just like, this is priceless. What better, better use of any extra money, resources that, I might have is just to have those little babies just light up with joy about, some pizza for the afternoon, But, what do you need to, I believe that we are so blessed to have you, first of all, that you survived, that your daughters have survived, and the progress that you've made. You're champions. You're a registered nurse. Your 2 daughters are registered nurses, and just the joy and beauty of your life today, but also that you're now the executive director of the ministry where, you once said, what's House of Grace?
Right.
And now today you're actually leading, you're the champion, you are the face, of House of Grace, and you're putting your heart into it, which is, you can't learn that at a university. You can't, find that in a executive profile on a high, some sort of talent scouts or agencies.
Right.
We actually have somebody, which Miss Katie, I thought was for years, she's irreplaceable. She had more anointing in her little finger than, but, I just feel really blessed that House of Grace has you and your passion and just your heart, that you've been where they're at. You've been in that shelter.
Yes.
You can literally say, that was my bedroom.
Yes.
That's where my kids stayed.
Yeah.
And again, if you've watched another episode, I've stayed at the same shelter, House of Grace, with my 3 daughters. And I can say, that was my bedroom, sometimes when I'm able to meet people there. Yeah. But I'm so thankful that you're able to, I love this scripture, and even mentioned it yesterday, was, what Satan meant for evil, God used it for good. And so even the evil that was around you, the story about how you came into House of Grace, you're now able to flip that over, and you are an advocate, a fierce advocate, a champion, and a voice. You found your voice at House of Grace, and you're continuing to develop it. Yes. So I'm so thankful for that, Sarita, and I'm thankful you bring all of that. It's powerful, and I don't know that you've ever stopped.
I haven't.
And thought.
I'm not. I don't think about it. I just.
But it is. It's so powerful. If I may have to, may have to switch seats or something. And I may say, all the things that you're, But it is truly a testament to, your spirit, your warrior spirit. And I'm thankful for that. What can people do to help with domestic violence, and maybe more specifically House of Grace? What can they do if they want to get involved? Or
we have so many things. I want to start by saying I talk about myself, but then I remember I give God all the glory.
Amen.
I remember the times when I was lowest, and those were the times that I got lowest on the ground. When I was the lowest, I got lowest.
I'm going to ring the bell.
Yeah.
I'm going to ring that bell right there, okay? She's not taking credit in a prideful way at all. She's being humble, that she acknowledges that she's only here by the grace of God, and that,
So before I start that, I want to make sure, I know God knows my heart, and sometimes we're still falsely accused, or look what you're doing.
Yeah. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yep. And so I remember saying, Lord, I go back to, my heart. You know that I don't want to be mean or hateful. And when I stand up, it's because I should.
Right.
But we need I need enough money. This is my dream for the House of Grace.
Oh, wow.
I need enough money.
Pay attention. She's got a dream. I think somebody one time said, I have a dream. I think somebody said, I have a dream.
Yes.
So I love that little I have a dream.
Yes.
And so what is your dream for House of Grace?
I would love to have that shelter we have paid off.
All right. How much do you know about how much the balance
About
is?
$80,000.
$80,000.
One person.
One person.
Call in, talk radio.
Yeah.
I'd like to have it paid off so that we would have that money to get. And I don't want it to be, I know I've heard people say, well, this isn't a, hotel, but it's a place of safety and refuge.
A sanctuary.
It is. And I want it to be that for these ladies and for the other clients. I want to have new floors. We got new windows, which is the shelter. We've been there. It's been in effect, the House of Grace, 27 years.
Right.
We just got new windows.
Since 1998.
Yep.
Delivering services to at least 11 counties in the state of Mississippi.
Yes.
And other counties. Personally, I came from Arkansas.
Right.
Transplanted to DeSoto County.
Yeah.
So technically, I was from Arkansas. So you got, Miss Katie would be very sensitive to the Spirit to open the doors for certain people. And we do take in sometimes other people if we have availability.
Right.
What we take in, who we take in is limited because we have 12 beds.
Yes, that's it. We have a capacity
and there's
for 12.
a lot more domestic violence. There's a lot more calls
there
that come in.
Yep.
And we have to regret. I say, man, I act like I'm up there really answering the phone, and I don't answer the phone at House of Grace, so don't call asking for me. But I'm on the board at House of Grace. Okay.
You are.
So, but people call in.
Yes.
And we don't have beds.
Right. We have other resources. I think we're going to have to collectively, for the House of Grace, get more private funding.
Yes.
Because we just heard that in Arkansas, they had 31 shelters. And as of today, they closed 25 shelters.
Wow.
They just got rid of
So was it
was
the
funding.
grant money?
Yes.
Or was it the government shut down?
Nope. This was separate. Nope.
Grant issues.
Grant issues. So I don't know how to help that, but I think we need to, we're trying to get the word out. See something, say something. I want other people to get involved in their neighborhoods and maybe get a card from the House of Grace. And we may not have room, but we will help you find resources.
Right.
I would like to be able to get them clothes. Just go.
Nice clothes.
Nice clothes.
Yeah. To feel good. To bring up their spirit, to bring up the light in their eyes so that they don't look, so they feel good about who they are. And
I just think I want new dishes. I want new pans. I want new sheets. But we have precious people that will call us. We had somebody yesterday. We're coming. We're going to be there at 4. They had new towels, new sheets.
Wow.
But every time a client comes in, we want them to have things that give them comfort.
Right.
We have churches that pray over blankets and make us blankets.
Yes.
And we give each client a backpack when they come in filled with their personal things, socks. I want to have enough. I just want to have enough.
It's just another way to say we love you.
Yes.
We support you.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Different, I know that we have a food pantry. We have, like women hygiene products and backpacks for kids because, even though the backpack drives are in, July, August, there are kids coming into the shelter all the time. And, all during the year. So we need those things. Just as, the parents may come in and say, well, I don't even have my kid's backpack. Okay. Here's a backpack, or I don't have a calculator for the kids' school.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a calculator. So we need things like that just to remove the excuses as to why you don't have to go back. We have some of these things met.
Yes.
What do you need to stay so you don't go back?
Right.
You don't feel like you're forced to go back.
Right.
We love you. We care about you, and we stand with you. Your problem is my problem.
Yes.
So you're not the victim is not standing there alone. And slowly over time, we help them transition from victim. I'm talking about we now.
No, you're right.
I'm on that board too, so I'm fierce on the board too, right?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I would love when they move to an apartment or, a trailer or another place, a safe place, that we have sweet, sweet people, precious people. My church will say, what do y'all need? We have a client. They'll say, what's going on? I'll say, well, the mama needs a bed.
Needs a bed.
We need a bed.
Yeah.
And so they'll bring a bed, and then they'll say, what's the address? We'll deliver it.
Wow.
Because we don't have the manpower at the shelter or the office to be able to go literally pick up furniture and take it to them. So I would love to be able to have a team that we say, but I do.
Yeah,
I do. I just have to ask.
It happens. Yeah.
It happens.
So if someone is, there are things that we need, you may not have, you may have $80,000 laying around, but if you don't have $80,000, maybe you have some, things that, you may have some extra furniture.
Yeah.
We can't really take the furniture as far as we can't take couches and beds and mattresses because there's all kinds of, issues with that. But at times when we say we need a bed, and you may have a bed, also that we may not have any money, but we may need you to come move something. The lady has all her stuff in storage and she may need somebody to help move those items, or she may be disabled or, injured or some sort of thing, and we have over the years had some of the best men that I've ever known.
Yes, I agree.
Some of the
we have
just precious,
yes.
And I hate to just say Christian. They don't have to be Christian to be a good man, but we've had some of the best hearts of DeSoto County, whether it's male, female, or whatever. Yes. But we've had some wonderful people, volunteers that are available to say, what do you need? Like you said, and we need more of those people.
Yes,
we need people that are praying.
Yes, we do need
people that pray specifically for Sarita.
Yes,
for vision.
Yes,
and what she's doing and how to network. And I've really seen you just really come alive with networking and how to do your job. And I think we had a kind of a transitional period from when Miss Katie was there to when Sarita's like, I don't know if I can do this or not. And I was, and what did I say?
Well, you said pray about it.
Yeah, pray about it.
And I said, what's wrong? Why are you so nervous? I said, it's too big for me.
Yes.
It was, and you were like, then you're the person. That's perfect. But
because you can't do it. You're going to have to lean on the Lord.
Yes.
That's a calling. That is a calling. You cannot do this job.
Not at all.
You cannot.
I cannot.
You can only do it with the Lord.
Through the power of the grace of God.
That's right.
I have seen the most beautiful souls and hearts of people that will come and say, here, we want to give you this. What else do you need? People, and I tell them this, I'm living out the word that says God will answer you before you even ask.
That's wonderful.
People will bring stuff in, what do you need? Make a list. We've got this. We want to offer you this. We want you to come to Family Day at our corporation. And we're like, and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And so God has done exceedingly and abundantly more than I can ask or imagine.
That's scripture, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not fearful about funds, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So any problem we have, I talk to God. I just tell him, and what there's funding, there is getting cut.
Yeah.
And the Lord.
Lord, did you know that grant, did you know that, Lord?
Yes.
The Lord doesn't work on grants, does he? No, I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to.
No.
I thank God for grants, I guess.
I'm telling you, the only way I have peace is when I hear from the Lord. I study his word, and he speaks to me through the word, and he explained it to me. He said, Sarita, I'm trusting you and your staff to take care of my people.
That's wonderful.
And you've got to trust me to take care of the funds to run this shelter. And I went, got it.
And that's why it's still there 27 years later.
It is.
Because if you're just grant based, if you're just on the government, then when the government stops, you stop.
Yes.
And you fold up.
Yeah.
And those shelters go away, and all of the investment that's went into that has gone away. But when you partner, in the heavenly realm,
And I believe God.
Yeah.
I realize I don't just believe God. Well, I believe in God, but I believe God. When he says it in his word, I believe it. Yeah. So if he helps me understand something, gives me understanding, I take that as that's your word. It's true. Your word. So I hear stories about the funding and I'm like, yeah, okay. And I don't know what's happening tomorrow. No. I don't live on anyone's word except for his, but he gives people a heart for us. Yes. It's just beautiful. So because of what I've been through, people that are kind to the shelter and to me, yes. I mean, they're giving it to the shelter. I want to say to them, every person that walks in, I want to say, you have no idea how this touches my heart. Right. You're taking care of these babies that are running around having fun, and they're precious. Yes. And the moms are precious. And we have some gentlemen that have come through. Yes. So they are precious, and we take care of them. You know, there's a lot of blame and, prejudice against women in domestic violence, like, excuses not to help them. Like, well, what did they do? They must have done something, da, 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 or, she's this, that, or the other. But even if you couldn't help that woman or man, look around and see those kids. Those kids need that. And even if, you can find fault with the mother and you can't help her because of your own heart, look around and look at those children and let that move your heart. Because if the mother is really that bad, you may be the only kindness that child ever sees is the kindness. And I'm thankful that when they come to House of Grace, they see kindness in your eyes and they know that somebody's different. That there's not violence, that not all people are violent. Right. It's true. It's true. So we have the gift of being able to say, okay, we love you, but also we've got to follow these policies and procedures. And it's hard. I don't like policies and procedures. I didn't ask you to come on here for policies. Some, even like me, the rules, who didn't have black and white growing up. It was just chaos. What kind of rules do they have at the shelter? We have a strict confidentiality policy. Okay. When you're at the shelter, you can't contact your abuser. Well, duh. Okay, but that's because what could happen if they could find you? They could find you in danger, and everyone else at the shelter. Everybody at the shelter. Yes. So strict confidentiality. You have to get along with the other clients and the staff. I do not put up with rudeness, screaming, out of control. We'll help you, right? But it's not going to happen. Yeah. You have a strict curfew at 8:30. You had to be back by 8:30. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Which really is not a lot to really think about if you're running from somebody. Yeah. It's kind of calm and kind of nice. I was trying to work. I was trying to do all this stuff. You can still work from the shelter. You have to sign in and out on your door just so we know where you are. If you disappear if you're not in a curfew and we don't hear from you, you will have to be exited. Yeah. We don't, there's no drugs or alcohol at the shelter. You can't use at the shelter. That seems like a big dud too, right? Yeah. But so some people are trying to alleviate pain or whatever with, And it's not uncommon to self-medicate when you're in a horrible situation just to get through it. Right. We have to disable all your GPS devices, phones, computers, games. That's a lot of it. A lot of it is confidentiality. Protecting the shelter. Yeah. And all the people that are there. Yes. Yeah. So I want to make sure that the shelter is safe and secure. Safety is what it is. Safety. Yeah, it's safety. I think that's awesome that you're also a nurse and you're able to draw from your nursing background and your training as a nurse to also take care of these women, men, and also, for healing, So it's a different healing ministry than working med surge or something like that. Yes. It's a spiritual healing. Yes.
And
I'd love to go to conferences. I would love that we would have a big enough staff that I could take 4 people at a time to an overnight conference to learn about domestic violence and how do you challenge the stereotypes and what are the rules and what does this mean and how does domestic violence or witnessing it as a child affect you in your adulthood.
Yes.
And so much, but we have a small staff. So usually I go and maybe one other person.
And I get to go sometimes, and I'm so excited.
Yes.
This is like how I take days off, is going to domestic violence conferences. I'm weird like that. But I enjoy meeting people who know about it. I'm excited about learning.
Yes.
And I'm excited about maybe something that I'm going to learn that would help somebody else and just make more connections, right?
Yes.
But I don't want to, I know we're getting close to about an hour in, but I don't want to move past this without something so simple and so basic. What is domestic violence? How do I know what is domestic violence?
It is someone who uses control to control you.
Okay.
You don't have freedom anymore. You realize if you're on the phone, you're being timed. Who are you talking to? What are they saying? Who is that? It's power and control.
Power and control.
And it's someone who uses it to control you and to try and silence you and to try and make you feel less than. They want to do what they want to do. And sometimes it's from the way they grew up, but there's still no excuse ever to hit, push, shove, coerce, financial abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, psychological abuse, something that happened, and then they say it's gaslighting. That didn't happen. I didn't say that. I didn't do that. They try and mess with your mind. You question yourself instead of questioning them. Well,
I've always been amazed, and I've been doing this, for quite some time, but it often comes back to any of these situations. What is domestic violence? Because if people are trying to make you stay or trying to convince you to stay, they'll say, he never hit you. But there's a laundry list of all these other things that they did.
Yes.
And if I in the community, I'll maybe ask someone, do you know anything about domestic violence? And they typically will talk about a domestic homicide.
Right.
Oh yeah, so-and-so, that's domestic violence. And technically it's domestic homicide. And so a lot of times people associate domestic violence with homicides, and they don't realize that there's actually a science behind domestic violence, domestic homicide, that these things build up and they lead up to these relationships have become toxic over a long period of time. That it was not always at domestic homicide level. There were years of good, happy times and happy pictures. And then there were, it took a while. It may have taken a while before there was actually physical.
Right.
Sometimes there's never physical violence, and then there's a homicide. So when we're talking about domestic violence, or even able to start a conversation about it, when you say, what is domestic abuse? How do you know that someone's being abused? If I have a fractured skull and it's all the way out to here, and my face is all, you can say that is the poster child for domestic violence.
Right.
But yet there are a lot of walking wounded people that look normal, but inside they are carrying horrific wounds, emotional wounds, spiritual wounds, all kinds of wounds, but yet they look normal. They never carry the physical violence, but they are, no less abused. It would probably make it easier, because if they said to, if they went with their fractured skull to a family member and said, what do you think I should do? Well, duh, You know, he fractured your skull. Get a divorce. Easy peasy. But when you're looking at financial abuse and emotional abuse, that's kind of harder for people to say, yeah, you are abused, you know. So some women that are physically assaulted are relieved almost.
Right. It's true.
Because now they are finally believed.
Right.
They're finally vetted as a domestic violence victim. Mm-hmm. So, but we want, you and I have talked, you know, hundreds of hours? Oh, gosh. We talk domestic. If you hear us out in town eating whatever, we're talking, you know, domestic violence talking. But we would love for, you know, we're nurses, so there's like different levels of prevention that we use for diabetes, heart disease, and all that. Yes. We'd like to back that conversation up a lot earlier than a domestic homicide. We would like to back that conversation up to, you know, dating violence. We would like to back that up to child abuse. We would like to, you know, the earlier you intervene, the best opportunities that you have. And even
I'd like to say something about what you just said about we presented a program called Love is Respect at Northwest about a month ago.
Northwest Community College, a satellite campus of Ole Miss. Yes. So that's here in Southaven. Mississippi.
Yes. So shout out to Northwest.
Thank you, Northwest.
Yes. And so as I was studying to teach that, it is dating violence. And if we could somehow get the word out, which we're trying to get into some of the schools with the program.
You're in college.
Yes.
Be nice to be in some high schools.
Yes.
It'd be nice to, you know,
so
the bullying.
Yes. Yeah.
They're learning.
So if we could teach or kind of educate some of the 11 to maybe 18 years old or 23, if we could show them this is not healthy.
Right.
You know, if you know someone who their boyfriend makes them put the phone on the bedside and keeps it on all night to make sure that the girl is not talking to anybody else, but makes her stay up all night also and tells her you can't shower or bathe ever because no one else will be attracted to you. And it's real and it's true. And the girls, they're so scared of the person telling them this that they can't tell or speak up. But the beauty of Love is Respect is there's a phone number. You can 24/7 talk to a counselor. It's anonymous. If you need help, they'll help you.
Is that through it's Stop DV or SAFE?
No,
or not?
It's
a totally different,
different, separate.
That's wonderful.
Love is Respect.
Love is Respect. So Google that. We don't have the number just handy dandy, but
you can talk to. You can
Love is Respect.
You can text them. You can get on their website. It is beautiful because if you don't recognize it, once you recognize it, and if you want me to come to your school, call House of Grace. If you recognize it, then you get to choose. I'm in an unhealthy relationship. I get to choose now. Do I want to marry that person and go through a lifelong trauma? And then if you do leave, it's good. It's kind of like when you quit smoking. Within minutes, your lungs start healing.
Yeah.
It's not automatic, and it is because of the choices we make. I understand, but we're not judging. We're saying we're here to help you.
We're just trying to help people have a better life.
So I do like the Love is Respect. We can get to the younger generation to say, don't choose this.
Yes.
So
there's another way.
There's another way.
So
the Love is Respect is a precursor to adult domestic violence.
Good.
And it's healthy.
It's wonderful. And there is a national hotline for domestic violence.
Yes.
I don't know the number offhand, but it's like just look at the national hotline for domestic violence. And
each state,
and no matter where you're at, you can call into the national hotline for domestic violence and they will, tell you local resources.
Yes.
So even though we are a podcast from Hernando, Mississippi,
Right.
if you're in, California or something like that, you can call
Yes.
the national hotline and
Yes.
get resources in your area. So that's wonderful.
And every state has a coalition. So there's a Mississippi coalition against domestic violence. There's an Arkansas coalition against domestic violence.
Yes.
Whatever state you're in, you can Google that.
Yes.
And they'll give you resources.
That's wonderful. Well, I think we've gave a great introduction to domestic violence. Two warrior sisters
That's right.
for domestic violence.
That's right.
And I'm excited. I usually wear a lot of purple on Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Purple, purple, purple.
Yeah.
She's been out all over the place. Everybody knows you've been you were on the radio today.
Well, yes, here.
Yeah.
Lovely. Hello.
Yeah. And then you were at DeSoto County Business Women.
Yes.
Talking about domestic violence. Her whole day is spent talking,
It
and
is.
working on things, working on programs, working on grants. She's working all the time on domestic violence. She's just dedicated warrior for domestic violence. And I appreciate you being on here today. And I want to close us out with I'm going to thank you thank all of you. I've got a script here. My producer really takes good care of me, and I appreciate that. But thank you for tuning in to American Fight Stories with Dabar. We are challenging all Americans to be better Americans, and you can find us find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Please rate, subscribe, review. Email us at dabarcares@dabarlaw.com, and then we will pray out of here. I usually pray. Is that okay, or do you want to pray?
I'm whatever you want.
All right. I thank you, dear Lord, for this day. I thank you for in years past that we answered telephone calls and we made connections, and we were moved by your Spirit to do things that seemed impossible. And we thank you that you've been faithful to both of us and to countless other people trying to escape domestic violence. We ask that that violence would subside in our communities, that not only that adults and elderly and children would be protected from domestic violence, that we would have seasons of peace and restoration and healing in the area of domestic violence. Lord, I ask that you would just show us the way, show us new light, help us to walk in wisdom on this issue, and help us to be carriers of your light to areas that are dark with violence. I ask that you would bring people to help us, to help these women. We give you all praise and glory for all that you do and all that you are. And just thank you for giving us the privilege and the honor to humbly serve you and to serve other people that are affected in domestic violence. Lord, we especially pray for the children impacted by domestic violence. And we thank you for all your blessings. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.